everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is my Forbes colleague, staff writer John Hyatt. John, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Brittany.
You have some new reporting about a billionaire beef that has been brewing for a couple years now between Elon Musk and Sam Altman. And you and I have talked at length about Elon Musk. Sam Altman isn't as much of a household name. So to start off the conversation, who is he?
Sam Altman is a venture capitalist. He's a big name in Silicon Valley these days because he is the co-founder and CEO of OpenAI. And as viewers know, OpenAI has really sort of taken the world by storm with its ChatGPT large language model, which is now very commonly in use and which really sort of set off the AI craze that we've seen over the last few years with other companies like Google, Meta, Microsoft. Like everyone is trying to get into the OpenAI's line of business, which is these chatbots, these large language models. And Elon Musk is as well, which has brought him and Sam Altman into even more of a direct rivalry.
And they weren't always in this direct rivalry. You write for Forbes. Your reporting indicates that they went from a friends to enemies story. That's their relationship arc. So let's go to the beginning. Let's talk about when they were friends. How did they meet and what was that friendship like?
A lot of people don't know that Elon Musk was actually the co-founder of OpenAI, and he helped bankroll it in its early years. So the two men met in the early 2010s in Silicon Valley. Elon Musk was already a well-respected entrepreneur, billionaire. He was building Tesla and SpaceX. He was not the household name he is today, but he was well on his way. Whereas Sam Altman was much less of a prominent figure. He was well respected in Silicon Valley, but his first startup did not provide a large exit to investors. He was president of Y Combinator, the popular startup incubator there. And so he's a great networker, a great thinker. He's a great speaker. And he and Elon Musk connected over their shared concern over safety implications around AI and the future of AI. And so the two men, along with others, co-founded OpenAI as a nonprofit in 2015 with the goal of advancing AI research and capabilities, but doing so in a responsible manner that prioritizes safety. Ultimately, Elon Musk was sort of ousted from OpenAI, even though he really helped bankroll it, spending tens of millions of dollars to help get its research off the ground. He left in, I believe it was 2017, after reporting suggests he tried to basically take over the initiative and put it into Tesla to help aid Tesla's development of autonomous driving. So ultimately, Musk split off from OpenAI, but the two remained on cordial terms in the years to come. When ChatGPT was released to the public in late 2022, Elon Musk actually celebrated it on X and welcomed the advent of this new large language model. But from 2023 onward, their relationship really deteriorated. And that coincides with Musk's own growing AI ambitions.
And so talk about that a little bit more, because that ouster from OpenAI for Musk didn't end the relationship, because as you've reported, they were still saying nice things about each other and their companies. But in 2023, that's when you start seeing the cracks, at least publicly. So when did this relationship really go down the tubes? Bring us to 2023.
So in 2023, Musk founds XAI. This is the AI startup that Musk controls, in which he has since merged with X, his social media company, formerly known as Twitter. And so we really see in 2023, as Musk is building XAI, as he's starting to unveil its chatbot Grok to the public, he is increasingly taking swings at not Altman directly, but at OpenAI and at ChatGPT. And this coincides with Musk's own growing Republican viewpoints, the Republican Party, that is, and his own sort of conservative ideology taking shape, where he was really against woke culture. He was, at that time, a big backer of Ron DeSantis, who viewers might remember for a while was considered the front runner in the Republican primary of 2024. Seems like a different era now. Flash forward a couple of years, but Musk was really trying to position his AI product Grok as the anti-woke alternative to ChatGPT. And so, was it personal? It's hard to say. There was definitely a business case for Musk going after ChatGPT, positioning XAI and Grok as an alternative for conservative Americans, for people who are sick of political correctness, that sort of thing. But the relationship between the two men really devolved from there and became rather personal. And there are lawsuits, there are swipes at each other's character, and it's really become kind of the talk of Silicon Valley.
And there are different layers to this feud. In your reporting, you call it multiple fronts to a war. That's what you compare it to. So I want to talk about one of those fronts being the lawsuits. And the lawsuit started in 2024, and this really expedited the deterioration of this relationship. Talk to us about that.
Right. So we have to flash back to when OpenAI was first founded, right? It was founded as a nonprofit, but Altman and other, people involved wanted to convert it into a for-profit enterprise because obviously there was a huge money-making opportunity with the introduction of ChatGPT and with selling that software to corporations and to individuals. And so what Musk did in early 2024 was he sued OpenAI in an attempt to stop it from converting from a nonprofit into a for-profit. He withdrew that lawsuit, but then refiled it in federal court. He initially filed it in state court in California. He then refiled it a few months later, basically the same lawsuit, arguing that this violated OpenAI's founding contract, of which he was a member when he helped co-found the company or co-founded the nonprofit. And he said this was against the contract of OpenAI. The sort of ironic and funny thing about this is that it actually turns out that Elon Musk was for OpenAI being a for-profit enterprise. Emails that OpenAI and Altman released show that Musk was advocating for that in 2016, 2017, before he was ousted. That was part of Musk's ambition to bring OpenAI into the fold of Tesla and to commercialize it as an AI tool for Tesla. So, the release of these emails and texts from Musk in the course of this back and forth between him and OpenAI in 2024 did reveal Musk's own hypocrisy. Nonetheless, and from pursuing his lawsuit against OpenAI and against Sam Altman personally, as well as fellow co-founder Greg Brockman. More recently this year, Sam Altman, OpenAI, they've sued Elon Musk in a counterclaim in the same lawsuit, basically saying that Musk has damaged the reputation of OpenAI through his public comments and through this ongoing litigation. And a jury trial is currently scheduled for next year. So this is all likely to come to a head in a jury trial, which will be really interesting to watch, assuming the parties don't settle out of court before then. They very well might. They might not want this to go on longer. But putting aside that lawsuit, the other front of the war between them is really, one, the future of AI and how AI is going to be shaped and adapted around the world, but also Sam Altman's new ventures, which are going after some of Musk's companies.
And we know, based on A, your reporting, but B, our conversations, that Elon Musk has his hand in a lot of tech spaces like electric vehicles, like space itself, AI, social media, and even neurotechnology. And it seems like, based on your reporting, that Sam Altman has all of those in his crosshairs and he is coming after each and every one. So talk to us a little bit about what Sam Altman is doing now to compete with Elon Musk.
Yeah, so the Financial Times reported a few weeks ago that Sam Altman is co-founding and raising venture capital for a new company called Merge Labs. This is a brain-computer chip firm which aims to compete with Elon Musk's Neuralink, which is sort of the leader in this space of brain-computer chips. So this is definitely a direct attempted as a direct competition to Musk's Neuralink. Beyond that, Altman and OpenAI are working to introduce self-driving software through AI. Been recently said on a podcast that OpenAI's autonomous driving software is better than what's out there, which was interpreted by many as a diss at Tesla and Tesla's own failures to develop self-driving technology, which has been well reported. And then ChatGPT is also looking to introduce a social media type feature. So now, ChatGPT is, a place where you put inquiries and it gives you information. But OpenAI is working to introduce a sort of X-like social media feed. The Verge and others reported a couple months ago. So that could be a big competitor to Elon Musk's X and Twitter, because ChatGPT already has more weekly users, around 700 million, OpenAI says, than X has monthly users, an estimated 600 million. So there are different, Musk is known for having these businesses in different industries, and now Altman seems to be sort of going after them one by one. He's also backed a long shot space company. It's actually called Longshot, which is aiming to build like a massive gun to shoot satellites into orbit. So he's invested in that company. And it does seem like Altman is sort of going after Musk's empire one by one.
John, based on your reporting, I mean, is there such thing as a coincidence here? Because Sam Altman and Elon Musk are two of the biggest names in the tech space in Silicon Valley. Elon Musk took swings at OpenAI and ChatGPT. Is there a world in which Sam Altman didn't take this personally, and this is just happenstance that he is happening to go after each of these industries that Elon Musk is a part of?
I don't think so. And part of that is just because OpenAI is so powerful as an AI company. It really does have cutting edge software that does allow it to explore solutions to autonomous driving. It has a huge user base, so a pivot into social media is a natural evolution for it. But we have to remember that these lawsuits between Musk and OpenAI, that's like the legal front of the battle, but it is an increasingly personal back and forth between these two men, right? Musk has called Sam Altman Scam Altman over and over again. He calls him Swindly Sam. He just sort of childish insults. And Altman, in turn, has said some pretty scathing things about Musk, saying that he operates his entire life from a position of insecurity, that Musk can't possibly be a happy person. So, I mean, they're sort of operating at a mind games level as well. And of course, this is all happening in the press and on social media. So we all sort of, see it happen. So it is hard to disentangle Altman's growing ambitions, different fields that overlap with Elon Musk's fields of engagement. It's hard to disentangle that from the increasingly fractious relationship between the two men. And what's really interesting too about this is that, as we discussed at the beginning of the call, the two men were friends. In fact, Elon Musk, who's about 14 years older than Sam Altman, he was really a mentor to Sam Altman as Sam Altman was making his name in Silicon Valley. And so, Elon Musk, to his credit, probably feels betrayed by Altman, that Altman ultimately won out in the power struggle between him and Musk when Musk left OpenAI back in 2017, 2018, and now is turning around and using the reputation that Musk helped build and using the assets of OpenAI that ultimately Musk helped fund with tens of millions of dollars. Now Altman is using those assets, using that reputation that Musk helped build, and is going after Musk. So you can imagine that Musk probably feels this as a personal as well as business betrayal.
Definitely. I mean, I can't imagine what insult is worse, being called swindly or a scam artist, opposed to saying I operate from a place of insecurity. I mean, those are really ugly and it's really public, but I hate to boil it down to something so childish, something you would see on the playground, but who started it? Is it, in your opinion, do you think it was Sam Altman because Elon Musk is now taking this as a business slight and a personal slight?
I think Elon Musk started it. I don't think that Elon Musk responds well to being beaten by others. And I think the introduction of ChatGPT in late 2022, which was a global phenomenon, which completely augured in this new age of AI. I think at first he thought it was really cool, but then it dawned on him that this was the hot new sphere in tech and that this was not a sphere in which Musk himself was dominating. In fact, he was far behind. Not only that, he had been ousted from the organization that was now leading this new age of AI. And so I think he took that very personally. And I think that in part led him to fund XAI and to pour and raise all this venture capital into XAI to develop Grok in an attempt to, compete with OpenAI. From his perspective, he hopes to unseat Sam Altman as the king of AI, but as things stand, he's not on track to do that. OpenAI and ChatGPT are valued over two times what, well over two times over what XAI has been valued at in private capital fundraises. And ChatGPT is still the dominant chatbot over Grok. And so, he has a ways to go to catch up to his former mentee.
And you noted at the beginning of this conversation that another front of this war is also the future of AI. And you wrote this for Forbes that the two men bonded over their shared concern about the dangers of artificial intelligence, and they co-founded OpenAI in 2015 as a nonprofit with the mission of developing AI in a responsible manner. Do you think they are still building AI responsibly? And how different does the future of AI look as Sam Altman's future versus the future of AI in Elon Musk's vision?
I think they would both claim that they're still building AI responsibly, but that does invite a larger question of what does responsible AI look like, especially when it's just unveiled to such a broad population. Anyone can go on ChatGPT or anyone can log on X and have a conversation with these chatbots, which researchers and journalists and others have found can put forth or spout nonsense or unfounded ideas or can do harmful things to the mental health of vulnerable people engaging with chatbots. So it does raise larger issues of what is responsible AI in this age of mass AI. I think at a philosophical level, Musk would say that responsible AI is anti-woke, anti-politically correct AI that's not afraid to speak truth to the powers that be, etc. Whereas Altman will probably be more for a moderated, regulated AI that is less edgy and a little bit more nuanced and fact-based. But ultimately, both of these firms, OpenAI and XAI, are investing tens of billions of dollars into developing these supercomputers, buying up hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA chips, and creating the infrastructure to become two of the largest AI firms for years and possibly decades to come. So although this rivalry has been going on for years now, it may actually just be getting started.
And these are two of the most innovative minds in the AI space. I mean, what are people in the industry saying about this rivalry? Do they think it's a good thing for artificial intelligence? What does that really look like?
I emailed Vinod Khosla. He's a billionaire venture capitalist, well respected in Silicon Valley. He's warned about the dangers of AI and is a keen observer of all of the latest in Silicon Valley. And I said, what do you make of this rivalry? And he responded with 5 words, something along the lines of more competition is good for everyone. And so I think, a lot of VCs and people in the space who want to push this technology forward realize that, there shouldn't be one dominant player. There should be competition. There should be, that element that spurs more innovation. But, I think people who aren't in the industry, who don't have monetary stakes in AI, they may have a more critical view of the industry as a whole and say, well, these are both rotten apples. The entire industry is full of rotten apples. So I think it really kind of depends on who you ask.
And John, once again, I hate to boil this down into playground terms, but I'm going to, because it's a fight. You investigated this. You're looking at all the different companies that both men are a part of. Who's winning this fight as of right now?
It would have to be Sam Altman. Uh, Altman is on the offensive, and Elon Musk finds himself in a sort of rare position for him, which is the defensive. Tesla has really been struggling as sales are decreasing, and its autonomous driving is really flopping. I mean, XAI, they're pouring tens of billions of dollars of capital into these chips, but it's not clear that it's ultimately going to become a profitable enterprise. So you have to say that OpenAI, has quite the head start on XAI, and then more broadly, Altman is looking to leverage that to get into other sectors, whether it's autonomous driving, whether it's social media, all these sectors that are going to increasingly be influenced by AI, in which AI products and services are going to be embedded in those sectors. And OpenAI, gives Altman a great launching pad from which to go after different parts of Musk's business. So I think at this moment in the rivalry, Altman is winning, but things can change.
And as you said, this seems to just be the beginning, and there's certainly a lot to look out for. And I know that you'll be reporting on it, so that means many of conversations to be had. John Hyatt, thank you so much for joining me. I hope to talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brittany.